I feel badly for him.
You feel badly for him?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Okay, here's why. Here's why I actually feel badly for Shedeur Sanders today.
Okay.
If he's asked to go to the Pro Bowl and he says yes, he is going to get ridiculed because of the numbers as if it was his choice to put him into the Pro Bowl.
I say congratulations to Shedeur Sanders, just obviously on sheer performance. He did not deserve to be in the Pro Bowl. Do I think he could make Pro Bowls legitimately on performance in the near future? I do.
But you don't think this furtherly diminishes the...
Well, you could argue, but I think it was already a joke.
Listen, man, this is a very difficult game. 1,600 of us. That's it. So for you to experience this at least one time, I don't care how you got it there.
There's not a small part of you that's offended by this?
Yeah,
is there a little
I'm not offended because it's a popularity contest. And I left Tampa with 18 picks and like 3 touchdowns and never made a Pro Bowl. As soon as I get to New England, I got a great fan base and now I'm a Pro Bowl every year.
I feel badly for him. You feel badly for him? Yeah. Why is that? The guy won 2 games. They went from a traditional football game to the flag football games. Look, I need you to understand what's really happening here because the surface level story about Shedeur's Pro Bowl selection is just the beginning. So don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin. This isn't a Pro Bowl story. Not really. This is a smear story dressed up like football debate, and you could feel it the moment that clip started rolling. The moment grown men on a national stage said, "I feel bad for him," about a rookie quarterback making the Pro Bowl. Think about how backwards that sounds. Making the Pro Bowl is supposed to be a celebration, a milestone, a dream. But somehow, with Shedeur Sanders, it turned into a warning label. Because here's the trap they set. If Shedeur says yes, he's stat-padded trash who didn't earn it. If he says no, he's arrogant, ungrateful, thinks he's above the game. If he says he's hurt, now it's panic in Cleveland. Something's wrong. The future's shaky. The franchise is nervous. No matter what move he makes, the headline is already written. And when that happens, that's not analysis anymore. That's targeting. We've all seen this before. Certain names don't get covered the same way. Certain players don't get patience. They get treated like content, like a talking point, like a prop you can throw on TV, tear apart for 10 minutes, and move on from once the next shiny controversy pops up. And Rex Ryan? Rex is the perfect symbol of that machine. Loud, definitive, performative. Always ready with a take that sounds final, even when the facts are still forming. And that's where this whole thing gets uncomfortable, because there's a real difference between criticizing a system and going after a kid. A huge difference. You can say the Pro Bowl is broken. You can say the selection process is a joke. You can say the league prioritizes eyeballs over excellence. All of that can be true. But that's not what this felt like. This felt personal. This felt like Shedeur became the face of everything people hate about the modern NFL, whether he asked for that role or not. And let's be clear about something, because this part keeps getting conveniently ignored. He didn't vote himself in. He didn't pick himself. He didn't campaign himself. He didn't call the league office and say, "Yeah, make sure I'm on that roster." He got a call. That's it. Same as every alternate before him. Same as dozens of players over the years who slid into that game quietly without becoming a national punching bag. But with Shedeur, the volume gets turned all the way up. The stats get plastered on screen. The tone shifts. Suddenly it's, what are we doing? Suddenly it's embarrassment. And that's when you have to stop and ask the real question. Was Rex Ryan attacking the Pro Bowl system? Or was he attacking Shedeur Sanders himself? Because those are not the same thing, and intention matters. Especially when we're talking about a rookie quarterback still finding his footing in this league. Especially when we're talking about a player who already lives under a microscope. And here's where the tension really starts to build. Because once you peel back the surface level outrage, once you look past the fake concern and the loud takes, another explanation starts creeping in. One that has nothing to do with touchdowns or interceptions. One that has everything to do with ratings. With television. With who brings eyeballs. And once you realize why he was really chosen, you'll understand why Rex panicked. Let's get real for a second, because if you actually watch the games, not just the graphics, you know the truth usually lives in the context. And the context around Shedeur Sanders right now is messy, loud, and unforgiving. Start with the team situation. Cleveland has been chaos, not rebuilding with patience. Chaos. I'm talking instability week to week. Offensive line shuffling, protection breaking down at the worst moments, play calling that feels reactive instead of intentional, weapons in and out of the lineup. And when you're a young quarterback in that environment, the league doesn't ease you in. This is the NFL's version of a hazing ritual. Welcome to the league. Figure it out on live television. No training wheels. Shedeur didn't walk into a clean situation where all he had to do was distribute the ball and smile. He walked into a grinder. And yeah, the numbers reflect that. 7 touchdowns, 10 picks. Completion percentage that makes analysts sigh dramatically. But those numbers didn't come from a vacuum. They came from late game situations, broken pockets, forced throws, and a team asking a rookie to survive, not thrive. Anyone pretending otherwise is either lazy or dishonest. Now, lane 2, the depth chart pressure. This is where things get political fast. Quarterback is never just a position, it's a statement. Every practice rep becomes a referendum. Every sideline clip becomes a debate show segment. Every quote gets twisted into confidence or arrogance depending on who's listening. If you struggle, you're not ready. If you speak confidently, you're running your mouth. We've seen this movie before. Young quarterbacks don't just compete against defenses, they compete against narratives. And that pressure doesn't stop when the whistle blows. It follows you home, it follows you on social media, it follows you onto ESPN panels where former players debate your future like it's already written. That's the reality Shedeur is operating in right now. Then there's lane 3, perception warfare. This is the most dangerous one, because the stats graphic is real. It's not fake, but the way it's used, that's strategic. When you put dead last on screen without context, you're not informing the audience. You're guiding them. You're telling them how to feel. Stats can be true and still be used unfairly. Both things can exist at the same time. And this is where the Pro Bowl conversation should have stayed grounded, because alternates happen every year. Weird names make it, injuries stack up, opt-outs pile on, and 10 years later, nobody remembers how or why. They just see Pro Bowler on the resume. That's the quiet truth nobody wants to admit. Here's the fan-aligned reality. Shedeur didn't earn it statistically, that's fair, but he also didn't deserve the humiliation ritual that followed. He didn't deserve to be turned into a punchline. And he definitely didn't deserve to have his legitimacy questioned like he pulled some strings behind the scenes. Because once you move from critiquing performance to implying blame, once you suggest the kid is responsible for the system's flaws, that's no longer a football take. And that's where it crosses from football take into character assassination. Rex Ryan's biggest problem right now isn't that he had a take, it's that he couldn't stand on it once the truth showed up. Because at first, Rex came in hot, real hot, embarrassing, a joke, participation trophy. That was the energy. Loud, dismissive, final. The kind of take that sounds great in a clip and terrible under a microscope. And let's be honest, it was easy. Young quarterback, ugly stats, national spotlight. That's low-hanging fruit in today's NFL media economy. You don't need nuance. You don't need patience. You just need volume. So Rex did what Rex has always done. He grabbed the easiest villain in the room and made him the symbol of everything wrong with the league. The Pro Bowl is soft. The NFL hands things out. Standards are gone. And suddenly, Shedeur Sanders is the face of all of it. Not the system, not the league, not the format, the kid. But then the story shifted. Quietly at first, then all at once. Because once the real selection logic came out, once it became clear this wasn't just about merit, once the league itself started acknowledging that this thing is closer to a TV product than a pure football honor, Rex's argument lost its footing. You can't scream merit when merit isn't the standard being used. You can't hammer stats when the league is openly saying, yeah, this is about entertainment now. And that's when the goalposts moved. All of a sudden, it wasn't about Shedeur. Now it was about the Pro Bowl being broken. Now it was about the system. Now it was about labels and formats and what we should even call this thing anymore. And listen, that argument has legs. The Pro Bowl is broken. It has drifted from what it used to be. Rex isn't wrong about that. But here's where it gets messy. If it was about merit, stand on merit. If it was about the system, blame the system. But don't blame the kid, then pretend you never blamed the kid. Because that's the tell. That's how you know this wasn't just some clean, principled football take. This was reactionary. This was opportunistic. This was about winning the moment, not telling the truth. And once Rex realized the truth didn't fully support his original outrage, the tone softened, the framing changed, the story got rewritten. That's not accountability. That's backtracking. And look, former players are allowed to be critical. Analysts are supposed to have opinions. Nobody's asking Rex Ryan to clap for a Pro Bowl selection he doesn't like. But there's a line. There's always a line. And when you cross from criticizing a flawed system into turning a rookie quarterback into a punchline, you're doing more than breaking down football. You're shaping perception. You're telling fans how to see him. You're telling media how to frame him. You're telling the league how disposable he is. And when you go after a rookie like that, you're not just talking football, you're shaping how the whole world treats him. Here's where the story flips, because moments like this don't just expose players, they forge them. I've watched this league long enough to know how it works. When the attention gets loud, when the pressure stacks, when a young quarterback becomes the headline instead of the box score, the NFL doesn't slow down for you, it speeds up. And if you survive that, if you don't flinch, that's when things get dangerous for everybody else. This right here is the kind of moment that can become an origin story. All of a sudden, Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie trying to hang on. He's the conversation. He's the lightning rod. He's got main character energy, whether he asks for it or not. And yeah, that comes with heat. It comes with jokes, side eyes, stat graphics, and people waiting for you to mess up so they can say, "See? Told you." But it also comes with something just as powerful: visibility, opportunity, fuel. Because here's the truth, fans. Understand, even if analysts won't say it out loud, the league piles on fast. And when that happens, kids grow up faster. We've seen this movie before. We've watched quarterbacks get doubted, clowned, written off only to come back sharper, calmer, colder. Think about the guys who learned early that the league isn't fair and used that lesson instead of fighting it. And there is a way to win this moment. You don't clap back. You don't overshare. You don't try to prove your point in interviews. You keep it short. You stay humble. You say the right things. You let the work talk. You show up. You listen. You learn. You stand next to elite players, absorb how they move, how they prepare, how they handle noise. That stuff matters. Confidence grows in rooms like that. Perception changes fast in this league, sometimes overnight, with one clean throw, one poised answer, one clip that flips the script. And here's the part people pretending to be outraged don't want to admit. Nobody remembers alternates. Nobody remembers the fine print. They remember the label. Pro Bowler sticks. It sticks in bios. It sticks in introductions. It sticks in negotiations. It sticks in legacy conversations 5, 10 years down the line. You don't see the asterisk, you see the headline. They wanted him embarrassed. They might have just elevated him. Now don't get it twisted. Accountability still lives here. The tape still matters. The stats still matter. The quarterback job is merciless, and nobody survives on vibes alone. He has to get better. Faster decisions, cleaner reads, fewer mistakes. That part doesn't go away. But the mental side, that's where careers get separated. If he folds, this moment buries him. If he absorbs it, if he sharpens because of it, if he uses this pressure instead of resenting it, this becomes the turning point. This is either the moment he gets buried, or the moment he becomes inevitable. Here's my prediction. and I'm not hedging on it. The NFL just accidentally lit the fuse. Because stories like this don't disappear. They travel. This one is going to walk right into training camp with Shedeur. It's going to sit in the meeting rooms. It's going to hover over every preseason snap, every interception, every clean drive. Every time he steps to the podium, every time a camera finds him on the sideline, this moment is going to be there. And pressure like that only does one of two things. It cracks you, or it sharpens you. Those are the only options. There's no neutral outcome when the spotlight hits this hard, this early. And when I look at the ingredients here, attention, adversity, talent, opportunity, I don't see a story that fades. I see one that accelerates. Because the league didn't just question Shedeur's stats, it questioned his legitimacy. And for certain players, that's poison. For others, that's fuel. This controversy isn't going away quietly. It's going to follow him into the preseason, into next season, into every broadcast where a producer thinks, hey, remember that Pro Bowl thing? And whether Rex Ryan apologizes tomorrow or doubles down forever, the result is the same. The spotlight stays on Shedeur, and spotlight is power if you're built for it. If Rex walks it back, that's validation. If Rex digs in, that's motivation. Either way, Shedeur wins opportunity. More eyes, more reps under pressure, more moments to flip perception. That's how careers pivot in this league, not in silence, but in chaos. And let's zoom out for a second because this matters beyond one player. The real indictment here isn't Shedeur Sanders. It's the Pro Bowl. We all know it's drifted into entertainment. We all know it's closer to a TV product than a football honor now. But the kid shouldn't be the casualty of that reality. He didn't invent the system. He didn't exploit it. He walked into it. So now the question shifts from analyst to fans. To us, if you're a fan, decide right now. Are you judging him on a graphic or on what he becomes next? Are you locking in your opinion based on a rookie stat line in chaos? Or are you willing to watch growth in real time? Because quarterbacks aren't finished products at 23. They're pressure experiments. And this league just turned the pressure all the way up. I'm betting it sharpens him. I'm betting that 5 years from now, people will point back to this moment and say, that's when it clicked. That's when he learned how the league really works. And the funniest part? The same voices clowning him now will be the first ones saying, I always believed in the talent. So now it's on you. Drop it in the comments. Does Rex Ryan owe Shedeur an apology? Or was the criticism fair? Pick a side. And if you want to stay ahead of every camp rep, every locker room quote, every media narrative that tries to define this kid before he defines himself, hit that subscribe button because we're tracking all of it. And remember this Pro Bowl might be fake, but the hate is real, and that's exactly why the comeback will be even realer.